So this person has done a lot, and he's quite young. He's got a lot less gray hair than I have, which is not saying much, because it's but this brother's got the best hair in the house, though. But this speaker, Kel Jackson, is really quite the innovator. He's quite the man at Auburn University, having worked as a student, and at the same time starting at least one business while also working in the facilities department at Auburn University, which is not a very easy place to go to school, I would imagine. But being from Alabama and close to home, I'm sure it's near and dear to his heart. So I'd like you to introduce you to Kel Jackson. Kel, why don't you come on up and tell us about innovation, about how you'd like to see innovation done, and what we all can learn from you. So thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Derek, for that introduction. I am really excited to be here. I really want to thank Derek and Miter for all their support of this program. I wanted to extend a special thanks to the leadership here at NSBE DC, President Ajiro Tutu, Vice President Smith. Thank you for your leadership. I also want to thank Dara and Erica for all their work bringing me here today. I'm excited to be here because we are gathered here in the nation's capital for a good cause, to celebrate academic achievement. And really, what more fitting of a cause is there than this? That we celebrate those who have risen above obstacles and risen to the challenge. Those who refuse to be defined by a negative statistic, but instead create their own positive future. How fitting of a cause for us to celebrate these students, because they are doing good things in the world. What more fitting of a place is there than here? Here in the nation's capital, where the futures of our nation and the world are set in motion. How fitting of a place for us to recognize the positive futures these recipients have set in motion for themselves today. What more fitting of a time is there than now? Now, when chaos reigns the world over, when families have been destroyed and cities have burned, not just across the globe, but right here at home. How fitting of a time for us to recognize these students as they pursue a brighter future for themselves and their communities. I'm so inspired by you guys because of the way you embody the mission of NSBE and how you've succeeded academically and how you're poised to succeed professionally, and how many of you have already made an impact in your communities. Those who embody NSBE's mission are uniquely positioned for success. And when you say the word success, I love that word. And one of the people I think about when you talk about success is Ursula Burns. You might know her as the CEO of Xerox, but her story is uniquely inspirational to me because this is somebody who was raised in the projects in New York, single parent household, 2 absentee fathers between 3 kids, yet she rose out of all of that to become the first black CEO as a female of a Fortune 500 company ever. She commands $26 billion in revenue, 146,000 employees, and my favorite thing about her is that just like me, she started off with a bachelor's in mechanical engineering. Just like you, she started off on the right path. And that's what I'm here to tell you guys. Part of it is that you're already on the right path. I don't need to tell you the benefits of a career in STEM. I don't need to tell you that 1 out of 3 S&P 500 CEOs majored in engineering. I don't need to tell you that the 10 highest paying degree fields are all in STEM. I don't need to tell you that consistently STEM fields are projected to outgrow demand of all other jobs. You know that stuff. That's why you're here today. But what I am here to tell you is that in order for you to succeed at the next level, in order for you to truly become future innovators, you got to step your game up. You got to step it up academically, you got to step it up professionally, and you got to step it up in the community. The choice you face now as you begin your lives is between greatness and nothing. That is your choice. When I talk about succeeding academically, you already know many of the things you'll have to do to be successful, right? You gotta study, you gotta go to class, you can't party too much, you gotta do all that stuff. But the dirty little secret of undergrad that I'll tell you is that your grades are a necessary but not sufficient condition for you to get a job, which is why you're really there. And to get that job, you got to expand your network. Why? Because job boards don't work. I tell people that all the time. They do not work, and I've got the numbers to prove it. If you get 5 jobs in your lifetime, you can only expect to find 1 by applying to jobs on Indeed, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever you find them. The other 80% are going to come through your network. And there are a few ways you got to expand that network. Number 1, go to career fairs. It is the easiest way to expand your network you're going to have. If you start in the fall, go in the fall. Do not miss a career fair. It is the only time in your life when the jobs are going to come looking for you. So go. The other piece of that, follow up with people. You're going to meet folks at career fairs. Don't just take somebody's business card and never call them. Make sure they hear from you 3-4 times a year, because over time you're going to be the person they remember, and when it's time to hand out opportunities, it's not the guy whose resume looks the best. We make decisions on an emotional level. It's who do I feel best about? Who do I know? Who do I think I can trust? And that's how you become that person. The last thing I'll tell you is to get internships. I'll use myself as an example here. I interned with United Technologies, so when it came time for me to graduate, it was the easiest interview I had. They said, listen, man, we know you. You're a known quantity for us. We like you. You passed our test. You want a job, you're hired. Come work. It was easy, right? Every single offer I had came through my network. I applied to dozens of opportunities blindly. I didn't get a call back from any one of them, but all my offers came through my network. So you got to expand your network. But the second piece of this is succeeding professionally. And what people don't talk about a lot that's very important to me is that you've got to protect your dreams.
Yeah.
We've all got dreams, and that's great, but you can't share them with everybody. See, when people can't do something themselves, they're really good at telling you what you can't do. Just because somebody else can't do it doesn't mean you can't do it. You can't share it with everybody. Make sure you protect that. But the second piece of being successful professionally is you got to execute. You got to set goals. Dreams are good, but you got to break it down into a goal. What is a goal? A goal is something measurable and time-bound. You need to look at your situation today and know whether or not you've achieved it. You've got to have grit. You got to hang in there when it gets tough. Ask anybody in this room who's done anything difficult, and they'll tell you success is on the other side of the darkness. Success comes after you hang on when you feel like it's impossible, when you don't know how you're going to pass that class, you don't know how you're going to land the client, you don't know how you're going to complete the project. Keep pushing. That's how you achieve success. So professional success is so important, and I really want to talk about that because it's what allows us to be effective professionals. And finally, when we put all that together, you've got to make an impact in the community. And to me, this is the capstone of life achievement, because we are nothing if we don't make an impact in our communities. We talked about academic success. We talked about professional success. That's how you become successful. But making an impact in the community, that's how you become great. And I don't just say we got to make an impact in the community because, you know, it's a nice thing to say or it's a nice thing to do, but we've got real issues in our community. If you don't believe me, just turn on the news, right? Take your pick. Ferguson, Sanford, Florida, New York, Baltimore. I could go on. And that's just what's making the news, even though it's been going on for a while. But let's talk about income disparity, right? Let's talk about the fact that black household net worth is 1/20th of what it is for our white brothers and sisters. Let's talk about the lack of financial investment in the black community. We've got some issues. And it's a familiar problem, right? We've all heard this before, and it's sad, and it's depressing, and it kind of gets you down. But just because it's difficult, just because there may be political reasons, just because there may be socioeconomic reasons, just because there may be reasons that stem from our nation's past, does that mean we just give up? Does that mean we give up on our communities? Does that mean we give up on each other? Does that mean we give up on ourselves? No! Because it's difficult, we must persist where others have walked away. Because it's difficult, we must unite where others have disbanded. Because it's difficult, we must do the hard work of finding real solutions where others have kicked the can down the road. We must do these things not because they are easy, but because they are hard. And in solving these difficult challenges, little by little, we will rebuild our community. More importantly, we will restore faith in our communities. You see, we are the last line of defense when it comes to our communities, because every time there's a tragedy, there's news coverage for a while. But one day the last news crew gets in their van and they leave. One day the last article is written. One day the last blog post is read. And then what? Then it's just us. The same way it always was. Our actions have consequences. Our lack of action will have fatal consequences. We are nothing if we don't take back our communities. It's our duty. It's the calling of this generation. So today, scholars, I lay this challenge at your feet. Today, I charge you with picking up the mantle of progress and carrying it forward in this generation. Today, you no longer have the excuse of ignorance. The choice between greatness and nothing rests in your hands alone. So choose wisely, work diligently, and though few things are certain in this world, I promise you this, that if you will commit to your communities, and if you will commit to yourselves, all of us here will commit to you. So congratulations, scholars. Thank you, NSBE. Thank you, DC. Such a privilege to be here. God bless you guys. Thank you.